Good evening, everyone. It is Julie Hedges, and welcome to the Tarot Journey Live. This is one of my favorite times to come online with you and talk about the tarot, talk about astrology, talk about ancient wisdom teachings that are coming alive in modern life. So welcome, everyone, as you're filing in the chat room this evening. There's Neshi. There's Rob. Who else is here? Let me see. All right. Thank you for tuning in and turning on. I want to introduce the show tonight. We are talking about, hi, Tabitha. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Linda. Everybody's coming online. Hi, Jackie. There's Rob. Oh, hi, Neshi. Thank you all for coming in. We're talking about spiritual first aid tonight. Hi there, Jackie. Spiritual first aid. And what that means is we have all fallen out of the tree of life. We've been T-boned by life. We've taken spills. We've had our hearts busted open. We've gone around the bend, and then the bend has come around and hit us, right? We're talking tonight about the times that we have hurts on the insides, and what happens when we have those. What happens when we have fallen down the hill, tumbled on. Hi, Rachel. Thanks for joining from the UK. When we have tumbled through and we're really hurting, what about those times? So that's what we're talking about tonight. And I want to just take a moment and welcome all of you here as you're still filing in, and ask you if it's on your heart tonight to invite a friend to watch and listen about spiritual first aid, because I know that I'm going to be talking heart to heart with a lot of you. And if it's not you who is going through some deep issues and concerns, if it's not you who has fallen out of the tree of life and taken a spill and gotten your heart broken and your spirit kind of bruised, then maybe it's a loved one or a friend or a family member who might benefit from some of the things we are going to discuss tonight. So welcome to the show. I'm Julie Hedges, your host on the Tarot Journey. Let's explore. Before we get started this evening, I always want to set sacred space, because on the Tarot Journey, whenever we get together, we do spiritual work. We are doing soul work tonight. You might think that you are just absorbing information, or you might ask for a card draw later in the show. Yes, tonight is a live card draw. But we are actually doing real work together, soul to soul. And we are helping to heal ourselves, and we're helping to heal the world. So as you are sharing the show or inviting someone to come along, I thank you for that, and get us centered and pulled together tonight. Okay. And I'm going to set a sacred space so that we are fully insulated, we'll say, right? Keeping our hearts and our minds and our souls uplifted as we talk about spiritual first aid. So take a deep breath in with me. And one more. I'm going to call upon the sacred winds of the east for inspiration, and call upon the sacred winds of the south to help us with mastery of our life lessons, and calling upon the sacred winds of the west for healing on all levels of our being, physical, mental, emotional, and most importantly, spiritual. I'm calling upon the sacred winds of the north, the place of the ancestors, calling on those winds to grant us wisdom. And I also call upon Grandmother Earth, the gentle, benevolent Grandmother Earth, to hold us steady, hold us in place if we are feeling rocky. And calling upon the beautiful star nations, the stars and the planets that overlight us, Grandfather Sun, Grandmother Moon, Morning Star Venus, that has just turned direct. And taking a moment for you to connect with your own angels, ancestors, and allies in spirit, those who walk with you through your earth walk, guiding and keeping you balanced. And we are fully surrounded in sacred space tonight as we talk about and we dig deep and have deep discussion about spiritual first aid, what it means for those first moments and instances when we have fallen down, when our souls are scratched and bruised and our hearts are broken, the injuries on the inside that no one can see. When we talk about those, the first aid, what we can do for ourselves to help stand up and get us back on track. So we thank you, all of our allies. We thank you, all of the directions for surrounding us in sacred space. Amen, amen, and amen. Oh, hello. Thank you, Minnie, for joining me this evening, and for all of you. Thank you for sharing, Rachel. I appreciate that. And Rachel's from the UK. Welcome. Thank you so much. We're talking tonight about those times, and I'm just going to go ahead and bring it up and share. I'm going to take my name off of here. Share about these tower times. Here's the tower card of the tarot. Right there, card numeral 16. You can see smoke coming out and flames and people jumping out of the tower. So we have those times, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what station of life. It doesn't matter how old or young we are. It doesn't matter the color of our skin, how much money we make. None of that matters. We all have those tower times. That's when we get T-boned by life and we are just kind of spilled out all over the highway and we're stunned and just, what has happened to me? I like what Rob is saying here, the equivalent of the 23rd hexagram of the I Ching. Rob is really good with the I Ching. That is not a skill that I have, but we have talked about the I Ching before, and the tower card and this hexagram, the 23rd hexagram of the I Ching, are very similar in this sudden explosion of change. You can't really prepare for it. You've collided with life, or more or more readily, I think life has collided with you. So what do we do in those times? Well, I did write about this in in Star Nations magazine in my article this month, and I want to read you a little bitty excerpt of that from the article, and you can read the full article from Star Nations magazine. And Neshi, would you post that in the chat, how people can get a copy of Star Nations magazine? It's a wonderful volume that is published monthly. You can get it digitally, you can get it hard copy, you can get it on your computer. You can read it on your digital device. You can get a PDF that you can read on any computer. So Neshi can share that, if she would, in the chat room. In the moment of a tower fall, we must apply first aid with loving attentiveness and compassion. We must come to our own rescue to bandage our physical, mental, emotional wounds. Then we can seek tenderness from those who will hold healing space for us and not re-victimize us. We must allow ourselves proper grief and gentle self-expression. So here we go, right here, Star Nations magazine. You can go to starnations.org under the magazine heading and purchase Star Nation. Sign up for a subscription there. And so, yes, you can read this article about, it's about healing. It is about those times, those tower times that we have. And so I want to address why we are talking about this tonight. Why spiritual first aid and what that really means. As I was thinking about this show and kind of preparing the thoughts that I wanted to discuss, it brought my mind back to the old original Karate Kid from the 1980s, right? With Ralph Macchio. Even though he was playing a high schooler, he was like in his 30s or something like that. So remember, he was a scrawny kid that was bullied, and he was the new kid and going to a new school, and it wasn't so great. And he wanted to develop some skills. He wanted to be good at karate. And so he asked Mr. Miyagi to coach him, to show him the ropes. And so he was diligent, the Karate Kid. He went over to Mr. Miyagi's every afternoon, and he wanted to train. And so days went by and weeks went by, and he was supposed to be training, but really, yes, I know, Neshi. Oh my God, Ralph Macchio. But really, what he was doing was painting the fence, waxing the car, sanding the floor, and painting the house, right? Whoops, oops. Oh, technical difficulties, right? I love this Mercury retrograde stuff. So it was wax on and wax off, right? Sand the floor, paint the fence, and then you had to do one this way. I better not knock my earbuds out again in my microphone. But for weeks, he went over to Mr. Miyagi's house, and he was wanting to train in karate, but all he was doing chores. Now, nothing like getting some free labor from a teenager, right? And so one day, if you remember that famous scene that he confronted Mr. Miyagi and said, I've come over here all these weeks, and all I'm doing is working on your house. What gives? When am I going to actually learn karate? When am I going to actually do something? And so I love that famous scene. It's kind of like Twilight. And so Mr. Miyagi starts doing his little and by rote, by muscle memory, the Karate Kid does the wax on and the wax off and the and this way, right? Remember that scene? I love that. Right. Just happened to be mirroring the movements he needed. But he was learning that muscle memory. He was gaining the skills by practicing. And so what I want to talk about tonight, why I think this subject is important, is for us to develop or spruce up our own spiritual first aid kit so that when we really need it, when that time comes that life is coming at you like Mr. Miyagi was doing the right? When we need it, it just kicks in. Because I'm going to tell you from personal experience, I use myself as an example a lot. I use myself as an example. I had a car accident in May, and I was off work for a while. But the immediate impact of that, I had no cognitive awareness. I wasn't completely knocked out, and thankfully, I was not hurt too terribly. But I had no access to conscious thought. People were swarmed around the car and yelling at me and pulling on me and all of that, and I shut down. There was the impact, and then I shut down. I could not tell you, oh, I like ice cream. I could not tell you about the sunset that I saw the day before. I had no access to any of that. Only my automatic processes were engaged, but I just shut down. So that's why I want to talk about this tonight, because when you practice safety measures for emergencies, I wrote this down and I really wanted to share it tonight. When you practice safety measures for emergencies, then your practice can keep you safer. Safer, not protect you totally. I mean, I do this spiritual work and I help people and I write articles and I do shows and readings. Excuse me, but I was still T-boned by life. I was still smacked by another car. I was still had a concussion. I was hurt. Just because I do this, I don't get a pass. So I want to help us tonight develop a spiritual emergency kit or brush up on that. When you practice safety measures for emergencies, Rob, could you put that in the chat room? When you practice safety measures for emergencies, then your practices can keep you safer. I want to give this one a solo. We must always and in all ways love ourselves. Yeah. We must always and in all ways love ourselves. So I want to talk a little bit about this spiritual first aid kit that we can develop. And I'm going to give this a solo because I want you to be able to see it here. What kinds of things would you put in your spiritual first aid kit? So let's say you're just riding along, you're going gangbusters in your life, and bam, one of your loved ones has a car accident, or you have a car accident. Maybe you just found out that instead of getting a bonus this year, you are going to be laid off. Maybe you just found out, whoa, I'm pregnant. Or, oh, maybe your spouse or your sweetheart says, hey, we got to split up. What kinds of things would you put in your spiritual first aid kit. Thank you for sharing, Neshi. I'm going to put this up here. Neshi says, I always have tobacco with me. That's my #1 item in my first aid kit. Excellent. So giving tobacco to get grounded, to get clarity. Thank you for sharing that, Neshi. Maybe you have some go-to books or videos on YouTube or some of your favorite songs. Maybe you have a card deck that you work with. I'm going to show you one of mine. Whoops. This is the Isis Oracle by Lana Fairchild. That's one of my go-to decks. This Isis Oracle, she doesn't mess around. These are some good answers. I use this deck only for myself, only for personal work that I'm doing with spirit. But that's one of my go-tos. That if I really need some solid, no nonsense answers, I go there. What are some tools and practices? I love crystals. I wear my chakra bracelets all the time from R&J Chakra Jewelry. I have a business partner, and that's what we do. We make genuine gemstone and crystal jewelry. I wear these all the time. They're like my Wonder Woman bracelets. Honestly, they are. Minnie says, I have a protection prayer I have memorized. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So can you think of 5 things that you have that you would add to your list? So I'm just going to share a little bit of mine. Rob says, I have my I Ching app on my phone, quick tap with Yarrow probabilities. Thank you for sharing. So one of my #1 go-tos when I need quick balance is chanting mantras. I love to sing, and I've been chanting for years and years. But there was one time when I had a medical procedure, pretty challenging circumstance, pretty scary time, that I was even on the procedure table undergoing this procedure. And I started singing. I started chanting everything that I could remember. And I honestly felt as if starting from my toes all the way up my body, I'm laying flat, so starting at my toes all the way up my body and over my head, it just felt like this veil. It just felt like this veil of peace, because I was scared. I was scared. But chanting covered me in peace, literally covered me in peace. Barbie says, I sit on my back porch and talk with God. I love that. Tabitha, I almost always have an oil blend or crystal and some good go-to podcasts. Yeah. Stephanie says, I have a couple playlists on YouTube I listen to. I recite the litany against fear and a Hail Mary. Oh, yes, I'm a Hail Mary girl right there. Sometimes when my body cooperates, I do yoga or dance. Excellent. Excellent. Minnie includes her sisters, friends. Madonna says, I wear rose quartz every day. I love the gentle energy and have a daily energy clearing prayer and have many oracle decks too. I bought my first rattle and drum not too long ago. Excellent. Excellent. Rob says, various prayers and visualizations for protection. And Neshi says, that's so true. Our sisters are go-to for SOS. See, you already have it together. So a couple more of my go-tos would be astrology. So once I've been knocked off the road, down in the ditch. Now I'm gotten myself up and brushed myself off, and I can look around a little bit. Nothing's broken, nothing's battered too bad. What else do? I look at what the stars and the planets are doing. Not that anything, and I want to be clear that there is nothing up there that is fated or this is going to happen and that's it. No, it's always between your soul and creator, how your path unfolds, and our free will as a human being here. But I always want to think about what are the influences up there? What kinds of things are activating emotional and spiritual responses from me? What kind of lessons am I being presented with? Like now, all of us are being presented with the lesson of Mercury retrograde. Communication. Are you communicating effectively? Are you hearing and understanding? Are you patient when little glitches happen? Is your computer acting up? Is your car not wanting to start? Those kinds of things. So I look to the astrology and trusted people. Neshi and Minnie talked about the sisters. Yes, I have my trusted go-to people as well. Always talking with spirit and getting a read with spirit. But we also need to have that community with our fellow man. I've got several videos on YouTube that I go to, playlists that I have for myself, music, and movement. I'm a person who needs to be outdoors every single day. And so I like to go walking. It just, that's on my list. So I love how everyone is sharing these wonderful things. Rob says, if the guitar is in my hand at the time, he plays Early Morning Rain. Excellent. Excellent. Here is something that I have shared on my Facebook page, and I'm going to invite you, if you are not already a part of the Tarot Journey by Julie F. Hedges, my business Facebook page, then please go ahead and like and follow me, because I know you're already liking and following the Star Nations public page, but you can go ahead and like and follow my page too, because I do lots of engagements all week long. I share prayer every Monday Meta. I do a live stream every Monday, and on the third Monday we get together for the Tarot Journey show. And I shared this prayer. I'm going to give it a solo. I shared this prayer on my Facebook page. This is one. I'm going to move Rob's comment out of the way here. I hope you can see that. So I shared this on my Facebook page. If you are really down and out and you need some help right now, you need to just get a grip. I love this prayer for yourself. You can say out loud or in your mind, I send healing energy and the power of whatever, peace, joy, love, lullabies, whatever. I send the power of peace to my mind, heart, body, and spirit right now. And then you can say out loud, I'm overcoming. And I would encourage you to say it like that. I'm overcoming feelings of loneliness. I'm overcoming being lambasted by life. I'm overcoming the fact that I was just laid off instead of getting a bonus. I'm overcoming being overwhelmed that I just found out I was pregnant. Something along those lines. I'm overcoming that. I'm welcoming peace, love, joy, affirmation, etc. into my mind, heart, body, and spirit right now. Amen. Amen. So there is that prayer for yourself. Prayer for yourself. I really love everything that you have shared tonight about the items that are on your spiritual first aid kit. And hopefully you have 5 or more. I like the number 5. 5 is the number of climax and change. It's like being at the top of the hill of the roller coaster. So as you go down the hill, the roller coaster, you can enjoy the rest of your ride. So that is the meat of what I wanted to talk about tonight. And I am going to be opening it up for some readings. I did want to let everyone know about a special offer on, whoops, that's the wrong one. Let me try this again. There we go. There is a copy of The Tarot Journey Volume 1 by Julie Hedges. That is a compilation of my best tarot tips and tools. You have tarot layouts in there. You have card meanings. You have talking about really working with a client on a reading or getting to the heart of the matter for yourself. It's an easy to understand manual, like a compass and a traveling companion on your own tarot journey. So I invite you to check that out. I have a special right now through the end of the year. You can get a copy of the Tarot Journey Volume 1. It's sitting behind me over my shoulder here. Copy of the Tarot Journey Volume 1. And a mini reading in email, a mini tarot reading in email for $25. And that includes domestic US shipping. So free shipping, a personalized copy of my book, and a tarot reading in email. And it's a robust tarot reading. It's about 600, 700 words. So you can really get your question addressed and, absorb it. You can read it over and over again. So I have that special through the end of the year, $25. That includes copy of the Tarot Journey Volume 1, free shipping in the United States, and you get a tarot reading by email with that. Is the link for the book here. What you can do is email me. Let's try this again. Mercury retrograde, the tarot journey at gmail.com. You can email me. I will send you a PayPal link, and then we can take care of it that way, and I can get your question online so that we can get your tarot reading done. So got some books, and I'd love to personalize one and send one your way. Amy says, wow, awesome deal, Julie. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I invite you to take the tarot journey with me. So please reach out, and I would love that. So let's get to some readings. See, I love having my book back there. Oh. Tonight I'm going to be using, I'm going to use the Universal Wisdom deck. I can't see that very well. Universal Wisdom deck. So I want to make sure we've got plenty of time for readings. And we have a full moon coming up in just a couple days on the 22nd, late at night for Central Time Zone where I am, or right after midnight Eastern Time on the 23rd. So this full moon is really initiating a new phase of consciousness. The sun is just coming into the sign of Sagittarius. That's the fire sign of the wise counselor. And so the full moon is beaming that light back in the sign of Gemini, the one who is the messenger to the world, the one who learns and shares knowledge in his local environment. Need to move that off of there. So we have an opportunity for new consciousness to examine our belief systems and our belief systems and how we share that knowledge. So that's what this full moon is all about. So let me scroll back down here. It's kind of challenging for me to make sure I get to the first of the line. Okay, Linda, let's get you a card here. You are first up. And I shuffle these until Spirit tells me to stop shuffling. Purity. Purity is your card. There, if I hold it up that way a little bit. Purity is your card. What I'm being led to is vibrating at a different frequency. So that means being very conscious of the things that you put into your body, the food and the drink, and also the things that you are vibrating in your body, like using your voice. So I would invite you to make a conscious effort of saying only positive things about yourself and to yourself. Yeah, that's the message that wants to come through. Yes, if you know a friend who would like a card, please share the show. Let's see here. Anne would like a card. Yes, Anne. Amy is saying PayPal can't log into PayPal on my cell phone. If you email me, Amy, we can work something out, okay? If you're wanting to get a book. Anne, this is you, dreaming of you. The message that wants to come through here is about really nestling in and going back to the beginning of time. So taking a soul trip, a soul journey back to the beginning of time, to the beginning of you. It could be to the beginning of you in this lifetime, or it could be the beginning of your soul incarnations. There is a gift, a talent, or an ability that is wanting to be birthed, but it's like you have to go back and get it. If you've ever played video games where you have to go through the mazes and all these different screens and places, and then you get this thing, you get a coin, you get a sword, you get a whatever it is, and then you take it with you on the next leg of the journey. So there's a gift, talent, or an ability that is needing you to come find it. So go all the way back to the beginning for that. That's the message that wants to come through for you, Anne. Yes, there you go. Amy is saying, yes, please. Okay, let's get you a card here. I want to make sure I, right. Intention. Intention. So the message that wants to come through here is to walk your path with your full intention and attention in grace and ease. So just gliding through life. How do you do that? Well, the first thing is to intend that. I intend my path to be straight. I intend my path to be balanced. I intend my path to be peaceful. I intend my path to be, etc. So setting that intention, that's the first thing. If you don't know where you're going, you will never get there. So that's part of the intention. If you want to get to Chicago, well, there are many ways to get to Chicago. But if you think, I want to go someplace, but I don't know where, that's your first intention. Find out where you want to go. All right. Let's see who is up next. Jackie. Jackie Fitzpatrick. I shuffle until spirit tells me to stop. Jackie. Let me put this up here. Jackie. Butterfly wings. But what what I heard when I pulled this card out, you're gonna love this. I heard singing. I heard, I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. I'm coming out. So that whole Diana Ross belting it out. I'm coming out. So your days as a caterpillar are over. It's time to spread your wings. So come out wherever you are. That's what I heard. Oh, that's great. Who is next? Tabitha. Tabitha. All righty. Well, Tabitha, 2 came out for you. So I'm going to try to hold these up so you can see them. Autumn Leaves is this one. And then right here, Rose Quartz. So this is leading me to time of making peace and balance with what was, so that new can come in the spring. These are both Libra archetypes. So Rose Quartz is an ally of the sign of Libra. Also the planet of Venus. Autumn Leaves, Autumn, Libra is the initiator of autumn. And an ally for Libra is this Rose Quartz. So it's about resolving something, letting it go with love so that new can come in the spring. So with this full moon coming up in the sign of Gemini and the sun shining in Sagittarius, it's probably a belief system. It's probably a belief that you have about yourself. Time to let it go. Let it go. Okay, Madonna. Madonna. Madonna's one of my favorite singers. Ooh. This one says music of the spheres. Music of the spheres, but the message that wants to come out is to get out into the sunshine as much as you can. I know that can be challenging in the autumn when the days are feeling shorter and shorter and it's cold outside, but to get out and soak up as much sun as you can. Or think about adding some vitamin D3 to your diet. Or if you are a person who can stand like the tanning beds, getting that sun-like light, but natural light is the best. Natural light is the best, but getting some sunlight, getting that, feeling it on your face, feeling it on your skin, on your eyes, because actually, this is the message that's coming through, that When you have natural light, especially the sunlight on you during the day, it helps regulate your body so that you can sleep better. So if you are struggling with sleeping, feeling tired and sluggish, but not able to sleep at night, getting that light can help, recalibrate the system, balance the system. It's very challenging these days. I have what's called seasonal affective disorder when we change the clocks and the light wanes and all of that. I just kind of get discombobulated, and I have to make sure that I get outside at least once a day. So there you go, Madonna. Rob, can I get a card, please? Of course. Let's see what message is coming for you tonight. I have to shuffle until Spirit tells me to stop. Here you go. Creativity. Creativity. And I love all the swirls there. I love the swirls there. The message that's coming through is, how do they want me to say it? Play the music. Tinker with the music until the melody just flows. So that means being disciplined to just get on the guitar or get on the keyboard, because you're good at both, and just letting your fingers go until the melody sorts itself out. Because there are about 3 new pieces in you that are ready to be born. They just need the flow. They just need the flow. So there's the discipline piece of, okay, I'm going to sit down for 15 minutes. That's it. 15 minutes, and 15 minutes can turn into half an hour or 2 hours or whatever, but 15 minutes a day. Wanting to get in the flow. So there you go. You're welcome, Linda. And Anne says, thanks, you are welcome. Neshi. Neshi. Yes. What kind of message? Oh, you got 2 cards and they popped way out. They popped way out. Okay. Wisdom and Lady of the Rose. So already there's healing. Healing and new growth. So the circuits that had been, how do they want me to say this? The circuits that had been frayed, that's how it's being shown to me, like a plug that the cord is off and the wires are all frayed. The connection that was frayed is being healed. It's being rewoven, but stronger. It's being reinforced. And such beauty is growing out of that. Such beauty is growing out of that. Ooh, I can't wait to see what that's like in your life, and you can share that you might share with us, Nishi. Stephanie, you have time. I would appreciate a card. Yes, 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 yes. This one popped right out for you. We just had this, but I love this. It's creativity. Creativity. And for you, I'm feeling it has to do with writing. Are you a person who does like automatic writing, where you sit with just a blank sheet of paper, and either with your dominant or non-dominant hand, I've heard of both, but sitting with a blank piece of paper and just a pen or pencil and just kind of letting it sit there and letting your hand move and letting your hand move and letting that writing come through. Yeah, you have some stories in you. You have like a trilogy of stories that need to be written. It's part of a medicine that you can share. It feels like fiction or fantasy, but it really is teaching about life. That's what I'm feeling. So, Stephanie, are you a writer? I'd like to know. Yeah. There are many ways to Chicago, but the Trans-Canada Highway ain't one of them. Oh, going back to my comment about intending where you want to go. Okay. Great card for you. And yes, I sang. That's exactly what came out. Just that, yeah. You are welcome, Jackie. You are welcome. Amy says the Trans-Canada Highway will get me kind of near where I really want to go. Ooh, where do you want to go? You are welcome, Tabitha. Jackie says, thank you. Great card and love the singing. Well, you're welcome. You're welcome. If you are interested in any more singing, I do have some sacred chants and mantras on my YouTube channel. If Rob, can you post the YouTube channel in the chat room for Soul Path Empowerment by Julie Hedges? There, I have all of my live stream shows. I have sacred chants there on my YouTube channel, and all of my Monday metas that I do, just the little live streams along the way, and I have them out there. So Madonna says, I was outside for almost 3 hours raking leaves. It's going to be sunny, so I'll be sure to go out. Excellent. And that's so good that you're getting out there and getting your body to move. And it's really hard this time of year. I'm not motivated much at all. But my body really does feel better, even if I'm achy and cold. I don't want to go out there, but my body does feel better if I go out and move. So thanks for sharing that, Madonna. Barbie, can I have a card, please? Absolutely. We have time left. So line up, everybody. If you haven't gotten a card, line up. Line up with your hand in the air. All right, Barbie, I'm shuffling. Shuffling, shuffling, shuffling. Ooh, I like this. Amethyst wings. This is really drawing me to the chakra system, to spend some time really getting in touch with your internal chakra system. So one way to do that, I love Polly Joe's chakra sessions, especially her meditations on Wednesday nights. Every Wednesday, check it out on Star Nation's organization, the main page. And there's also on Polly Joe's page, but her chakra meditations and activations are just sublime. So this is drawing me to your chakra system, Barbie. Yeah, and I know that you had shared online that you were having some health challenges. So getting in touch with your energetic system, your chakras are little power stations all along your spine there. And so when you kind of get in touch with them, it radiates out on all of the levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So getting in touch with your chakra system there for you, Barbie. All righty. Who would be next? You are welcome, Rob. Carrie is a new listener. Well, welcome. Welcome. I am just at the point of drawing cards for people, and I appreciate you stopping by. So, Carrie, if you are interested in a card, let me know. Let me know. Wisdom and Lady of the Rose. Healing and growth. Yay, you're welcome. You're welcome, Stephanie. Now she's saying, Carrie, ask for a card. Yeah. Ask for a card. Okay. Yes, you may. Let's get a card for you. I'm so glad you've stopped by and are taking the tarot journey with us tonight. I always shuffle the cards until one flies out. So I got to shuffle them until Spirit shows me that it's done. This one is for you, Carrie. Return to silence. What I'm being drawn to and what the message is coming through is communing with your guides, communing with your inner guidance system. And I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 on your spiritual team. Maybe you know their names and have a good relationship with them. Maybe you are new to developing your relationship with your personal team, but it's time to really commune with them. There are messages to be shared. There is wisdom. There are teachings to get you to the next spot, the next place where you want to be on your own spiritual growth path, on your own journey of life. So time to commune with them, Carrie. Yeah. And thank you for stopping by. You've come to the right place, I think. You've come to the right place. Oh, Nesha says a perfect message for Stephanie. Yay. I hope so. Stephanie says, sometimes I need to sit down and write more. There are so many stories waiting and condensing in my head. Time to drop them on the pages. Absolutely. Now, here is a thought. There are times when I get messages for people that they need to blog or they need to write or they need to journal. And sometimes I can see them recoil like, oh, I'm not a writer. Well, here's the thing. Like if you're pressed for time, because I think all of us are being pulled in 150 directions at one time. And if you have a family and if you have loved ones that you care for, and if you have full-time commitments and student commitments and all of those things, it's very challenging. While you are commuting from one place or another or running errands, etc., can you use a voice recorder and start recording your stories and then transcribe them at a later time, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. Maybe you can use your phone as a voice recorder. I do. I often get songs, melodies, and in order for me not to lose them, I take out my phone and I record them. So that's just an idea for you to maybe try if it's challenging to get down there. Here is my YouTube channel. I'd love for you to subscribe and stop by. You are welcome. Rob says, I look for remote islands to visit. Okay, yes. The link to Polyjola Bay's fan page for chakra sessions. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Amy Daniels went to a healing session up there. Yeah. Okay, and then talking about the injunction and the KXL pipeline. Carrie says, commune with your spiritual guides, 4 of them. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Did I get everyone online tonight? I sure hope so. It is always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be with you on the tarot journey. Oh, Tabitha's asking. Tabitha is asking. Let me see if I can hold this up so it won't get in. There it is. This is the Universal Wisdom deck by Tony Carmine Salerno. Yeah. I just got this not too long ago. I've used it a couple times, and the artwork is just astounding. And the messages that come through. Yeah, I just love how the messages flow so easily on that. So you are welcome, Tabitha. Great show, great topic. Thank you, Neshi. And so I'm going to close our show. We've done some great work together tonight, some great spiritual work in developing and maybe retooling our own spiritual first aid kit, maybe give you a basis of something to work with on your own, or to help a loved one or friend or family member who might have just kind of hit the pavement of life, like bam, and they need some help. They need some revival. They need some spiritual first aid. You can help them with that. So I always close the show this way. It has been kind of my signature send off since I began the tarot journey over 4 years ago. From my heart to yours, may the peace that surpasses all human understanding be with each and every one of you. Happy, wonderful Thanksgiving. Happy, wonderful Thanks living. Om Shanti and good night.